Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing this fluoro pink and green look on Liv. I kind of wanted to do a bright look and also practice excuse me, using the fluoro pigments from Helen E Cosmetics as well, just before Listen Out. So I'm starting off by taking her taking the Inglet brow gel in the shade 16 and just filling in her eyebrows. Then I'm going to be taking the P. Louise eye base all over her eyelid and using this to clean up underneath the eyebrows as well. Then taking the Stacey Marie x Be Perfect palette. This one is the XL one, and I'm going to be taking the shade Influence, which is like a dark pink shade, and I'm going to be taking this all over the lid, well, not all over the lid, kind of all over the eyelid basically, apart from the inner corner because we're going to be doing a cut crease. Really making sure that color is like really pigmented, and as I'm applying it, I'm making sure that the edges are slightly blended out, so then when we go in with the other colors, it blends nicely together rather than leaving a solid line and then making it really difficult for yourself to blend the other colors into it. Then I'm going to be taking the two shades Pep Talk and Funky, and I kind of just mix the two together just because they're the brightest pinks in the palette. And I'm just using these two shades to blend out the outer edges of that Influence color. I've got like a sort of fluffy, it's almost like a fluffy pencil brush, and I'm just applying it with that, and then I'm going over with a tiny little blending brush, I think, which is the Morphe M506, I think, and just making sure that everything blends together nicely. I do go back in with the Influence color just to kind of make sure that we've got, like, it just kind of blends really seamlessly. Then for the cut crease color, I took the Helen E pigment, which is the fluoro pink, and I mixed that with the Inglot gel liner which is the white one, and I really wanted this cut crease to not crack, so I created the cut crease shape on either side, and then basically what I did was left it for a little while so it kind of sets itself, and then I went back in and put a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent powder over the top, but really lightly patted it over. I was super nervous about this cracking because matte pigments and matte colors just really are hard to make sure that they don't crack, but this did not crack, and I was so super surprised. Liv did say it felt a little bit heavy on her eyes to start with, but she got used to it after a while. Also, I'm wearing a mask because I had a little bit of a cough over the weekend as well. But yeah, so basically just lightly patting that Laura Mercier powder over the top, and then I'm going to be taking the shade Influence and kind of blending that in the outer corner again. But by using the translucent powder as well, it kind of kept the color of the fluoro pigment mixed with the gel liner as well, which I really wanted because I didn't want to have to apply a color over the top of it and then it would just change the whole color. So I'm really happy that this worked, and everything blended so seamlessly as well. It was a bit weird, almost like the translucent powder just needed to sink into the gel liner a little bit, and then it just went really flawless, and I was so happy. Then just taking the Inglot gel liner in the shade 77, just for the lash line. I do apply a little bit of the black from the palette as well, which is the shade Lights Out, and I just apply that in the outer corner of the eye, just to kind of take away that harshness of the gel liner, like where it stops. Then for lashes, I'm taking the I think, what are they, the Gazelle Christian lashes, I don't know how you say it. These ones are in the style Jasmine, so they're super full and super fluffy, and they've got like a really nice curl to them as well, and they just looked fabulous with this eye look. I was obsessed with what they looked like. Then I'm going to be taking the P. Louise eye base underneath, and then applying the fluoro green shade from the same palette, which is Ecstasy, and I'm applying that underneath her lash line. Now I wanted these to be a really fluoro color, and I wanted to do yellow, but there's not really a fluoro yellow eyeshadow that I've ever owned or know of, so I thought I'd go with the green, and she had green nails too, so it kind of worked out to my advantage. But basically, again, I've mixed the Helen E pigment in the fluoro green mixed with the Inglot gel liner in the shade 76, which is the white one, and just applied this through her waterline. I then grabbed a little bit more of it on like a flat brush and just smudged it underneath the lashes as well, just to make sure it all blends nicely together. Then for inner corner highlight, I took the shade took the MAC shade Nylon from MAC on the inner corner, and I also used the Peaches and Cream Starlight pigment over the top, just to make it have a little bit more of a sparkle and a little bit more of a shimmer as well over the top of that. Then for foundation, I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in warm beige mixed with slightly, like a tiny little bit of light beige. She had a fake tan done and it was super dark, so we're obviously wanting to match the neck to the face. So just applying that with a brush and then blending it out with a sponge as well. I just feel like it gives a nice flawless finish. Then for concealer, I'm going to be taking the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard, and I'm going to be blending that out with a little mini Dirty 30 sponge, and I'm just applying it just with a flat concealer brush. I just apply this slightly, and obviously you don't want to be going over the green, so we want to bring it down, but we still want to highlight underneath the eyes, if that makes sense. So just be super careful around the under eyes. I do go back over after with a bit of green eyeshadow, just in case I have gone over any of it, to make sure it's nicely blended. Then setting it as per usual with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and then just setting her laugh lines and just really pushing that product into the skin as well, just to make sure it's nicely set, because we want to prevent laugh lines as much as possible. Then I'm just going to be setting the face. I definitely did cream contour before this. I just used the Bobbi Brown foundation stick, but I'm not sure where the footage has gone. So I cream contoured, then I set the face with the Fresh and Flawless powder, and then I'm just applying a little bit of the Hoola bronzer just to kind of further contour her face, and then I'm applying the MAC Give Me Sun just to bronze up the face a little bit more and give it a little bit more warmth. Then I'm applying the MAC Warm Soul, I just went completely blank, Warm Soul blush, and also I'm taking the MAC Oh Darling highlighter as well, and I also use one of the Doll Beauty highlighters too, but I'm pretty sure the sticker of mine has either fallen off on the bottom, so I'm not sure what shade it is, but it's kind of like a gold shimmery sort of shade. Then just blending out the outer corner of that P. Louise eye base on the outer and the inner corner, so we don't have any harsh lines. And then I'm just going to be taking the shade Funky from the, Foolish from the Stacey Marie palette, and a little bit of Funky, and just kind of blending out that eyeshadow, just making it really blown out so it looks really soft. Then taking Strip Down lip pencil from MAC, and also Yash lipstick from MAC too. I'm just going to be lining her lips and filling her lips in. I just wanted a really neutral color with this, because obviously we've gone super crazy with the eyes. So I felt like this lip color looked perfect, because it's just a really neutral brown shade. It's not too overpowering, it's not too pink, it's not too, too dark. So I was super happy with that. Then just applying that green shade underneath again, just to make sure that everything's nicely blended out. Then I'm going to be applying some setting spray, which is the Kat Von D one. And here we have the completed look. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!
Did a wave. I regret doing the wave. You gotta do this in slow-mo.